skies. Maybe let's talk cause I'm shy. I just wanna see in your mind. You know I know it's that time. I need advice. Maybe just changing my life. I swear that women's my vice. Men are from Mars. He tripping. I put that on guard. I got the digits, but I am not calling. Wizard at night. This be that forum. I'm just gonna stack with that. Sunshine after that. Just gonna stack with that. Sunshine after that. So yeah, you know, I had a conversation with her, but it's like the signals is always crossed. I mean, like, I say yes, cause she asked me to say yes. And then she's like, I didn't want you to say yes. I wanted you to understood that a yes was required to answer the question. I was like, what?
Oh, you know what? There's no applause. It's all good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Spot, the Stacked After Hours Spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folk Talk. Tonight we are doing the brothers. The brothers are in the house giving y'all their answers that this week we had ladies submit all these questions around relationships and love and who they are and how they act. So the brothers are going to actually have their conversation and have their due, and they're in the hot seat. So ladies, if y'all got comments and questions, please bring them into the chat and get your drinks, because we know what we want to keep it lit and enlightening. So let's bring in my homegirl, my co-host, Miss Sunshine.
I guess I gotta do my own applause, right?
I know. Wow. Our producer got he is out tonight, but we have the wonderful Jay in the background holding it down for us. So thank you, Jay. So Anthea came up with this whole idea. She's just like, girl, let's just have people on Facebook ask questions. Y'all are actually the co-host with us. So ladies, what are some of the questions? Me, Anthea, put some questions in. Some other ladies put some questions in. What are the questions that we saw tonight? Because we got a whole lot of things, from crying to money to insecurities to what does pussy taste like. I'm like, oh,
that
was a whole nother thing. But anyway, one of the questions that that stood out to you, Anthea, was wood.
Well, I think the question was, do you have it with you?
I do have it. I do. I think I do. I think it was from
Karen. Yeah.
From Karen around crying, right?
Men and crying.
Yes.
Do men cry around women, and how do they feel after?
Yes.
And
she started a lot. Yep.
I'm laughing because
why are you laughing, Anthea?
Well, because we were discussing it today, and I may have some issues myself. I'm not sure, but I have a problem with crying. Period.
This is the question. Do you view crying as a weakness? And have you ever done it so in the presence of your partner? And if yes, how did you feel after? That's the question. Continue.
Well, I view crying overall, men and women, as a weakness.
Why is that? Why?
A form of weakness, and can be a form of weapon and manipulation. I know that I have used it before in the past to manipulate. And I know you're giving me the
I'm
side
judging
eye
right now.
Judging because let me give me like 2 seconds, right?
Go ahead.
I grew up in a culture and a society where crying was frowned upon.
Right.
And I remember back in the day, a man crying was something that people either laughed at or made fun of, and it was something that people just said was made a weak person.
Right.
I took that literally growing up to mean crying, period, whether men or women, is a sign of weakness. And I remember the first time I witnessed a guy crying.
Did you smack him, Anthony? What'd you do?
Well, not that time, but but I couldn't help but just I looked at him differently after. And
Mm.
at one point, one guy had to actually talk to me and say, "Hey, Anthea, men have feelings too." And I just kind of took a step back and I just was like, I had to process that. And I, after a while, I literally was like, it's true. Men do have feelings and maybe they want to cry. Sometimes men do have too much feelings. And
So when
so,
you go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, ask me.
So when you see a man cry,
Depends on who he's crying for. I mean, if his child is hurt or something or sick or whatever, that's a different
I'm not
story.
okay. No. We're talking about in terms of something in the relationship.
Why are you crying though?
Maybe people are emotional.
For what? Like,
Well,
what?
you got some
I'm just like,
Cynthia.
I, I'm like the same thing I do with women. So don't even think that I'm picking on just men. You know, a
Does
lot of
that
people
turn you off?
of both men and women. And I keep bringing women into it because I really don't want to think the men to think that I'm just
But
picking on them.
we're talking about men, right? I mean, we're women. Okay, so we get annoyed when we see certain because some people are constant criers, right?
You said the key word annoyed. If you're just gonna be crying for all the time for no
Right.
reason, I'll get annoyed.
Whenever they're wrong, some people bring in I call them the crocodile tears. Like
Yeah,
it's like waterworks. It's like, oh, let me turn them on because they need to happen. I agree with you on that. But if a man is truly hurt about something in
like
the
I.
relationship, let's say he found out that you cheated,
But
and
that's
are you
listen.
or he found out something that is traumatizing to him that causes a reaction of his tear ducts watering up and he starts like you ain't shit and he starts actually expressing his emotions to you and some tears come out. Let put it like this: if he starts crying like Denzel in Glory, you ain't gonna be turned on.
Girl, I think is it time to bring the guys in because
Yeah,
I feel
no, we gotta finish this. We'll bring the guys in because I'm gonna ask them the same question. But seriously, I think because
listen.
we have all this the black community across the board. That's just not Caribbean culture. Black men that it's not
Well,
encouraged them to cry.
listen. I encourage vulnerability, and I like vulnerability.
And sometimes that vulnerability is going to show up with tears.
But if you're gonna cry all the time, I'm like, what the fuck are
But
you
it's
crying
not
for?
crying all the time. But what I'm trying to say is if he's really rare, that you
And
start to pull
emotional,
back.
like all the time.
He's having a rare moment with you. He pulls back the onion and
So
some tears happen.
that's a rare moment. But I remember one time I was seeing this guy and I was like, why are you at my door crying? Like, what the fuck are you crying for?
You would let him in, would you? You can let him in, would
I
you?
did not let him in, but he was
He
up
was crying. Girl,
no,
he was sprung. He couldn't understand it. Why you wouldn't let him in? You've been letting him in all this
You
time.
get out the hallway and stop disturbing my damn neighbors. Go somewhere else and cry.
Wait a minute, was he like on the floor balled up, or was
I
he
have
just?
no idea because I didn't open the door. But if he was rolling around out there, it was just not going to help the situation.
Wait a minute, was he a loud crier? Let me stop.
I looked through the peephole and I was like, what the hell? This nigga out here crying.
Let's bring in the brothers. Jay, bring them in for us, please. Brothers. Ted Jeffries. TJ
She
has.
said she was never going to repeat that story out loud, but now she's telling everybody in the whole world. I just can't believe this. I was here to share my love and my heart with you, but you just tear, you continually tear it down. I can't believe this.
Lord have mercy. Welcome, TJ, who is back, our very first guest. Lord have mercy. Malik, of course, and D Parks is in the house. I just did a quick roll call. I'm not giving them all formalities, but y'all gonna get to know them tonight because they gonna read this. So, you gentlemen, the question that we opened up with: how do y'all feel about crying? Do y'all cry first and foremost?
Is crying a sign of weakness? I think that was the question.
Was it a sign of weakness, and if you have done it, why? And what was your partner's response? That was what the question was, which is a great question. TJ's still trying to hold his shit.
I'm just trying to figure out, why did it take somebody to tell you that guys have feelings? That guys have feelings too. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I'm stuck
Did you
here.
think we were? Like,
we
some cyborg out here that we don't have no feelings?
It's true. It's true. I agree. I like those questions, and it's true. I mean, when I was younger, in my early 20s, and I came up here, I was treating guys like shit, and somebody had to pull me aside and was like, "Why the fuck are you doing that? Like, you're treating people like they don't have feelings." And I took a step back in my early 20s, and I was like, I had to take a look at myself and do some reconciliations. Yeah.
The cyborg, Ted, that's hilarious.
I mean, I don't know anything else that doesn't have feelings. Everything has feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything has feelings.
I couldn't believe she said that.
I mean, I was blown away.
Like, what were you, raised by wolves?
Shit, wolves got feelings. You hit that motherfucker long enough, he gonna bark. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Like, who does, like, I mean, you cry when you're happy. You cry when you're, overly, like, you cry. People cry for different reasons. And to be ridiculed. But see, that's the reason why motherfuckers don't cry in front of y'all. Y'all wonder why people don't show emotions. Because y'all take that shit and use it and be on platforms laughing about a motherfucker at your door crying because they want something to see you. That's fucked up.
Okay, don't say y'all.
I didn't say women. I'm talking about women. I'm not. And when I say y'all, I mean it's not all women. I hope when y'all say men, it's not all men. But it's just what it is. And if Sunshine, but think about this: if Sunshine's sticking like way in her 20s, coming from another country, coming here to where people think we're arrogant and don't care about people, like imagine how much that multiplies by people being here. And y'all wonder why men walk around so tough, don't want to share their emotions or be beating chicks' ass because they ridicule them when they cry and bring this shit back up.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not saying I engage in that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I engage in that, but that's part of it. Imagine you opening yourself up to someone, showing them your full emotions, and they laugh at you or bring it up later in a joke. What you gonna do? Oh, it's funny now. Now who crying?
Yeah. Okay, D Parks.
I'm just saying. Listen.
I know
it's all free game.
Right. But I think the thing is like part of this is supposed to be a space of healing and understanding. So
it is, but that's why I'm explaining and I'm sharing. I'm giving an understanding of how some men would take that of how they treated in that moment. Me, I cried maybe once when one of my parents died, and that was it. But yeah, I'm not. You know this. I'm not opening myself up to someone.
I feel like that's always the guy's story. Like a guy be like, yeah, I cried when my brother got shot. Oh, I cried when Ricky died. It's like guys cry. Like I've cried maybe twice over women in my life.
What was the reason, Malik? Why did you cry for one of the women?
Both reasons. I was just hurt. I was hurt. It wasn't even like they cheated. I was just hurt by circumstances. I mean, one time I like bawled, like Cuba Gooding in what's that, Boys in the Hood, when he was swinging. I was like bawling, and I had to catch myself. I was like, "Yo, you tripping?"
You were fighting off the crowd, weren't you? Malik?
I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I'll tell you a funny story. The last time I just cried most recently was at my brother's wedding. I was the best man. I was the best man, and I was giving a speech, and I had this dope speech playing, and I literally bust out in tears halfway through my speech.
See, I think that's sweet.
I mean,
I cried at my daughter's graduation. I cried watching The Notebook.
But I did. But Natalie, you said specifically men in relationships, not.
But I mean, but let me say this.
People make jokes at me though.
Because he's crying out of the joy. See, I think there's things when people cry out of joyous reasons. Right. And I think men have those, especially at weddings and their boy is getting married and they found love and you start to have reflections and that shit happens.
Right. I of some sort, you're feeling your emotions in that.
But when a guy cries over a girl, like if a girl cheated on you, you crying to your boys, he might clown you. He might be like, come on, bro. Like you met her in the strip club.
It doesn't matter where you met somebody.
It does. To men, it does.
Okay.
If these two Ted start crying over a stripper, I'm gonna be like, bro, come on.
I love that stripper.
They have songs about it.
Right. She had a lot of special talents. You just don't find that everywhere.
So, in all fairness, though, let me call my host out because she did ask me specifically to just narrow it down to relationships.
I did.
But within a relationship, there are different things that may cause somebody to get hurt and cry. So within that relationship, if you're in a relationship and that brother got hurt over something you did or something, you just gonna sit there and be like, "What the fuck are you crying for?"
Fuck wrong with you, yo? You
get your ass out of my house. What kind of shit is that?
Sunshine. Do you just want thug love? You don't want no emotions?
Right. Right.
I think the problem is, and I think this is the problem. I think this is.
You see him trying to suck it up and trying to clean it up like. No, I wasn't crying. You know, fuck you. You ain't talking what?
What up, Reginald Carwell? He said, "What up, Stack?"
Oh, now you want to be all tough. The other day you was all.
Get your fake tough ass out of my house. I'm gone.
Anyway, is there another question, Natalie?
There is another question. So we're gonna start. We'll start kind of simple, right? So this is one. Why would a man keep a relationship with a woman and never marry her, especially when her end result is marriage?
She may not have communicated that she wanted to be married.
No, let's say that maybe she did communicate that. I'm gonna say she communicated that.
Yeah, he's just a dog. He's just selfish for trying to keep the situation going for his own selfish purposes, knowing that he's not going to tie the knot with her.
Right.
But the question is, why would the lady stay? That's the question. Why would the lady stay when you could feel that he ain't trying to commit? I'm staying because I'm getting the ass still. I'm still smashing. You're cooking for me. You know, it's kind of like having a job. I'm gonna keep this job till I get a better one. So
thank you, Malik.
I'm gonna keep a girl on deck if she do 80% of what I want.
But you know, Malik, but you know, we get real creative with our answers when it comes down to trying to be pinned down about. So are we going? You know, let's have a. You know, you get that little statement. Let's have a talk, and now you're like, oh shit. All right, what are we gonna talk about? And she's very clear about, are you going to marry me? And then you out there, well, baby, we could hang out and kick it as long as we can. You get real creative and slick with the tongue and trying to keep a motherfucker at bay. But at the end of the day, bro, that's you fucking with somebody's time, you fucking with somebody's life if you out here just trying to get some ass.
No, I agree with you. But like usually when girls ask me, do I want to get married? You know what my stock answer has been for the last 15 years? I tell them it's pig, punani, pork. And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'm like, yes, it is. So we're going to get there, but let's take our time. And usually in the interim, they do something.
That's some slick shit.
They do something. They do something that messes it up. And I have a way to pivot out.
Wait, Malik. What did they do? What are some of the things they did do to mess it up?
Okay, like I gave you an example. I was talking to a girl one time, right? And you know, in this Instagram social media age, women is always posting stuff. So she would post herself like in parties, getting lit. And I'd be like, my wife can't get lit. That's not the image I want my wife to have in society. So you talking this marriage-minded stuff, but you out here smoking hookah, you twerking on your home girl. Michelle Obama ain't doing that.
You don't know that?
I need a Michelle Obama in my life for my wife.
How do you know Michelle Obama don't do that?
She maybe doing it behind.
Based on my information,
she's doing it for Barry back behind closed doors.
Exactly.
So it's like, a person, male or female, will always do something to show you who they truly are. So if you just sit back, a person will mess it up for themselves.
So let me call out the ladies that stay in those relationships, though. I'm gonna give the brothers one, because if you're in the relationship for that long, because I was watching this whole Jim Jones, and I forgot his girlfriend name, and she's there with
Christy.
Right, 18 years, and she's been wanting to marry him. Till the other day, I think he asked her, and she said, "Nah, you wait 18 years of your life to wait for a guy to pick me like that? Let me call her out. She should have never waited that long." She gave Jim Jones, Jim Jones gave her the basic, and she took the crumbs for years. She should have had more respect for herself and move on.
Tell her make her next move her best move.
I'm gonna call her out.
Facts. Facts.
It's not always the man's fault. I told you every week we have this conversation. It's always the man. Why the man leave?
People don't understand. I think people misunderstand where their power lies. They somehow forget. You know, first rule of nature is to thine own self be true, right? To take care of yourself. So at the end of the day, how do you lose perspective on that when you're in a relationship?
Digmatized.
All right, come on now.
I mean, I would say guys are master manipulators. Some of us are master manipulators, but women need to see through the smoke screen. That's what I think happens with women, because men and women can manipulate, but most guys will tell their homeboy if they get manipulated, like, bro, come on, you know she just in it for the money, she in it for this, and we will kind of sit back and be like, damn, so and so is right. But women really want to believe the Disney fairy tale and the whole happy ending, and it's not always like that.
Yo, Malik, are you dead ass? You believe that women are not doing the same thing? How often
I'm saying women are doing the same thing. I'm saying women are doing the same thing, but if you tell me, like if you came to me, Ted, and say, yo, Malik, that girl playing you, bro, she just in it for the money, I'm going to probably sit back and I might take creed of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Women tend to shun their friends when they give them game. Oh, she's jealous. You know, there's a lot of single women out here. She hate that I'm with someone. Like, guys really take advice from other men. I don't know if women do that on the same level.
I think sometimes we do. I think sometimes the friends we trust, we don't do it with everybody. Some are constantly seeking validation in their friends because they're not sure about what they want or why they're in it. I'm speaking for ladies, but I think as you get older, you start to select who you want to take advice from.
Absolutely. You need to know who you could get sound, objective counsel from.
Right.
And understand that whatever they're saying is coming from a place of love, not from some strategic position where they're trying to get advantage on you or right some pass wrong or, you know, to throw salt in your game because they're not happy. You know what I mean? You got to have some sound people in your circle that you could go to with that type of advice or to seek that type of advice and get the right type of counsel from your peer groups.
So Dr. Reddy said a comment that said women do not keep it real with each other. Not all women, but there are some women that really don't, because they just want to make sure that they look good and they lie to themselves sometimes. And when they're explaining this to a friend and talking about the issue that they're having, they're making themselves look, they're not being objective in some cases, not all cases. And goes back to taking responsibility and ownership of your shit.
Right, Doc?
Right.
When you're older, it's too late. It's never too late, but
Nah, it's
I don't
never too
believe
late
it's
to get
never
sound
too late
counsel.
either. Right.
You just miss out
I
on
think
a lot.
women. I think a lot of women squander their best years. Like, you know, the scale is different. Like men, our best years are later in life. Women's best years tend to be early in their life when they look more youthful. They have their fertility. They have all these things. So women in their 20s, they run in amok, and they don't really have the benefit, because by the time they hit their 30s and their 40s, you not the same quality stock. Whereas me.
So Malik, that's a follow-up question to one of the questions. So once in a relationship with that hot 20-year-old, right, and y'all together for 15 years or 10 years, or how 10 or 15 years, if her appearance changes, like weight gain, whatever, enhancements, she's doing things to keep it or whatever, what has been your reaction or response to that?
Do I love her?
You've been in it for a while. You in a relationship with her. I hope you love her. You just in a relationship to pass. You've been in it for a minute, Malik.
I mean,
yes, you love her.
If I love her, I'm staying. I've never been in a 15 relationship once.
Somebody told me this week, if I gain a certain amount of weight, my husband's out.
Now, why'd you gain the weight? Because of childbirth? You got thyroid issues? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's say she just gained weight over the years.
Take the bread, damn it.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to serve God in my life right now. So I'm gonna stay, but I'm not gonna be a happy camper.
You know what?
I'm gonna stay, but I'm not gonna be a happy camper. But I'm gonna stay. If we got a couple kids together, and you really holding it down, and you put on that post-marriage baby weight, and you know, I'm gonna stay.
Let's say it's not baby weight, but you love her anyway.
Too much trips to the buffet. We gonna have to.
I don't. It's just piled.
She like them ribs.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
She like sourdough. She can't say no to sourdough. So,
I'm gonna stay for the most part. I think I'm gonna stay.
For the most part.
I'm gonna stay, but we're gonna work out something. We're gonna do something. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna because that's what attracted me to you. You know what I'm saying? If you're just gonna let yourself go, which sometimes a lot of women do, you know, they get their catch, they want to start putting on the bonnets and just looking extra crazy without going the extra mile. And that's why a lot of times relationships wind up ending or get into, you know, men wind up cheating, which I know is another question coming up later down the road. But the same token, it's the same token as if a woman gets with a man, chest, 6-pack, arms, and 2-3 years later, he a fat bastard. It's like, yo, what are you doing? Is she gonna stay? You know, so it's a systematic. It's a sense of just being sensitive to the reasons, like Malik said. Is it childbirth? Is it thyroid issues? Is it you just a greedy ass? Or is it, you know, you just getting older and just getting late, you know, become lazy? So you would have to have that conversation, and based on the response and participation of a plan of action to maintain, like, yeah, it's, you know, I might be out.
TJ.
I think it all starts with a conversation, right? I think mature people have a conversation. If that's an issue that bothers you, I think it denotes to having a conversation with your significant other and just saying, you know, carefully, you know, crafting the conversation to not be hurtful, to be just, you know, find out what's going on. She may be going through some shit that you don't necessarily understand.
Exactly.
You know, at our age, a lot of women going through the change right now. You know, and that comes with a lot of shit. They might not feel like, many of us have gone through situations and periods where, you know what, I know I need to work out. I don't see myself in the mirror. Right. But you know, there's a season when you just like, you know what, I know I need to do it. I just don't feel like doing it right now. And I'm all right with that. You know, and then when I come around to doing it, and I may lose somebody in the course of doing that. But again, if I'm paying attention to who I am and what I want. Now, if it comes to a relationship, I think there's some type of compromise where it is like, you know what, sweetheart, well, what can I do to help you out with that?
Exactly.
It would, and give them ownership in that decision, not make the decision for them. You know what I mean? I think that's the mature conversation by saying, would me getting up with you walking, and we could start out slow. We could start out with a mile. We could just start out with just, going out and just having a conversation, and maybe see it as an opportunity for y'all to bond in a different way, rather than making it about exercise, and rather than making it about, doing work to try to lose weight. The action in and of itself will breed the outcome. So if we're going, you know what, let's just take a 30-minute walk and we'll talk about current events, and we'll just try to bond where we may not necessarily be able to do so. And we do this every day for a week, and then maybe we change it up and do a little something else differently.
Communication is everything.
You can get creative with it, but I think you need to have buy-in from that partner and be able to, and she needs to be able to say, yeah, that would help me, or no, I'm going through some shit right now, and right now I'm not in that space. To Malik's point, to D Park's point, then you got to make a decision whether or not you want to hang around for that. But I'm a firm believer. You don't get rid of a Rolls Royce because it got a dent in it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I said. I would have the conversation. Exactly, Ted. 100%, Ted. I'm with you.
That's a good soundbite.
That's a great soundbite, Ted. You better get it. All right.
Y'all gonna pay me if y'all use that shit, though. I'm just letting y'all know right now. My shit ain't free. I love y'all, but my shit ain't free.
Why do men cheat? And disclaimer, we know that women cheat too, but why do y'all cheat?
Because there's an opportunity to do so.
And she got fat, and unhappy.
And we serving ourselves. No different than anybody. Ain't nothing different.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't nothing different with the races. You're being selfish.
Well, I think women do it more emotionally. I think
a lot of people want to point to, well, he wasn't giving me this time, and he wasn't. Yeah, well, you made your decision to go out there and serve whatever needs you had, and that's the reason why people cheat.
Malik, I think it's the flip. I think men do it out of emotion. I think women do it out of physical need.
No, see, to me, I've never really cheated. I abhor cheating. I've never been a cheater, but I've dated multiple people at the same time. And me, I'm just really trying to enjoy my life. I'm not really out here with some diabolical emotional plot and scheme, or going to my, how girls go to their girlfriends. He hurt me. I just felt alone. I'm sorry I did it. I'm just
Hey, Malik, when you were dating them two women at the same time, did one know about the other?
They both knew.
Oh, okay.
Slightly. Y'all love
that's my cousin.
That's my guy.
No, that's my cousin. That's my guy. No, that ain't what you think.
No, wait. But really, guys, when y'all cheated, was it emotional or was it physical? Honestly,
I think depending on, I'll say being a person who has cheated in the past, it was a little bit of both with certain people. Other times it was just like, fuck, it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to hit that.
I was being selfish. I was I wasn't really.
And it was at a situation. I'm sorry, Ted, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it was at a point where the relationship wasn't what it was at a point. And, and you see, women, and you're like, damn, I would love to, So it's not about emotion. It's about having an experience or giving an experience more so.
So is it sport? Because I remember.
I would say sport.
I had a boyfriend told me, he's like, I'm a good villain. I was like, what's that mean? He's like, I ain't never been faithful, but I just cheat out of sport. I was like,
yeah, I don't partake in that. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, here's the thing. I think about this.
Find that shit for himself.
Well, think about this. Women really frown upon each other if they do 2 joints in one day. Like, that's just a girl rule. I feel like that's an unwritten woman rule. Like, you ain't gonna take 2 poles a day, right? Whereas a guy might stand to a girl.
They are quiet.
See, average woman is not going to take more than 1 pole.
No, I agree. With you, Malik.
Like, women got a 24-hour.
I agree with you, Malik.
Whereas
y'all ain't never taking 2 poles in a day. Y'all ain't never taking 2 poles in a day.
Whereas a guy will take down 4 or 5 girls in a day if he could get away with it. So women have I think have a slightly different moral compass when it comes to sexuality and promiscuity, whereas men necessarily might not have that same filter. or
right, which
stigma.
makes it not emotional. It's just trust me, Natalie. It's not emotional when men cheat. I don't know what you get your. I'm just saying you might think that, but I'm telling you now, from a man that's been around and from knowing other men that cheat, men don't give a fuck about the woman they cheating with 9 times out of 10.
I'm not
They just
saying
hitting some
no.
ass.
Let's be clear. I'm not saying it's about the woman they're cheating with. I'm saying if you're in a relationship, let's say you're married, right? D Parks, you're married. You choose to step out on your wife. Is it because emotionally you're not getting something at home?
I see what you
want to
said.
hit that ass.
That's
that I
what I'm
seen go
saying.
by.
You're in a relationship to cheat. You got to be.
I want to
in.
suck them titties I seen go by. Like
You might, you know what,
damn.
Natalie?
I wanna,
you might be right.
Oh,
You might be right.
Thank you.
But I think it's subconscious.
Natalie, I don't
think men
sorry.
consciously think it's emotional. I think we think it's for sport, but there might be a subconscious
I think
underlying
there's
context.
some emotional stuff. I'm just saying, as a woman who has been cheated on, and I'm sure that all I'm saying is as somebody, I probably was neglecting him. I wasn't giving him enough attention or something to that concept. I'm like, okay, we had a conversation. I'm not saying he blamed it all on me. He took his own ownership.
None of it makes a difference.
I understand that. I'm just saying it's a question, TJ.
What if they start crying though?
That's why he cheated, because you was laughing.
That's why he cheated, because you laughed at him crying.
That's emotional.
Right. You sent me into an emotional state. She didn't cry. She didn't laugh when I cried. I could cry fucking her all night long.
I could tell her anything. And she would throw it back up in my face.
Okay.
Somebody
said, I think
more strategically, it's more personally when they.
A man can feel all of that, right? A man can feel all the, I wish she was doing this more for me. She ain't paying attention to me. She ain't showing me the love that I feel like I need. Blah blah blah. Then leave.
Right. I agree, but my question. So this is the thing: you're happy when you're happy. Do you really want to cheat?
Nope.
Exactly.
Here's a caveat. Here's a caveat. Built in within all men are that need to be hedonistic, and we are hunters. We are people who see that ass, and we are challenged by by even looking at that ass. Hang out with your boyfriend and watch your fat ass go by. He'll be like, babe, damn, she got a fat ass. No, she be trying to get you to get involved so he can help him look at the ass. Look, what I'm telling you is inside of all men is opportunity for them to seize, conquer, and jump up and down on something because they can. Now they have to make that conscious decision not to, because they're in a relationship. To them that means more than this, whatever this fling could be, whatever this little moment in time is. But all men have that thing inside of them, like, God,
it comes down to self-control. It all comes down to self-control.
You don't know nothing about her. She can be crazy as a bed bug. You don't care. Physically, she's attractive. Physically, she's got your attention.
But I don't.
I did that before.
I think somebody said, "Stop telling on us." my bad.
So I don't think this is one of the. I don't think this is one of the questions. But one of the. But I have a question though. Do men really prefer like that crazy girl sex?
Yes.
Crazy sex.
Look, you got all of them crazy crying outside your door.
Crazy women, me. Crazy women have always been better in bed to me.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Like I'm talking about crazy women, like the girl that's calling you 10 times a day, the girl that want to get in a fight in a movie theater line, like that crazy chick always has just been phenomenal to me in my experiences.
Yeah, crazy is like nitrogen. You can't control it. You don't know when it's going to pop off. And if you're like me, who's someone who doesn't like a whole lot of drama, that crazy is just not going to, you like it if you could control it, but you can't. So more often than not,
as I said, it's all about self-control.
Yeah, I'm just like, nah. I don't need that. I don't need that attention. I don't need to blow up in the restaurant, motherfucker throwing drinks and slamming down and cussing out people. That's not my crazy.
Think about it. Most guys stay with a girl like that because she has one redeeming quality. she puts it on in the bed. When you see most guys with a messed up girl,
I promise you, you can find somebody who's not crazy with the same redeeming quality.
Yeah,
and do it in a way that
a little quiet chick with glasses,
and do it in a way that you would be like, whoa.
No, but I'm saying like historically, us as men, and we know our friends in the circles we move in. When we see our friend with a girl that's off, it's usually like, well, you know her shit is that bomb, dog. You know what I mean? Because you know your boy like, yo, why you still with her? This girl's crazy, son. And you be like, son, like, you know, she do something with the banana. You know what I mean? Like,
love women who fight back in the bed. Oh, okay, Reggie. Renee has a question.
What shit y'all doing in the bed? Y'all fighting and shit in the bed?
I saw that.
I think there's some resistance. I understand.
Okay. Don't let that bone come out your closet.
I'm just.
You notice I'm staying quiet over here.
I thought I saw some 12-ounce boxing gloves in your background.
Renee has a question. I'm moving forward. Do men become more sapiosexual at an older age because of their sexual performance becomes less?
Why is the assumption made that our sexual performance becomes less? One.
Yeah, go ahead,
it's called Viagra.
And two, why do you think we're not always been sapiosexual? Like, why is it only at an older age?
Well,
some of y'all ain't been sapiosexuals.
It's either yes or no.
No.
I will say this. I think men whose performance wanes reinvent themselves. I will say that. So if you can't be, you know, piping it down like you used to, you might start munching her out. You might start spending a lot of money. You're gonna figure out a different way to get to your end goal. But I think the average guy prefers to just pipe straight through the 80.
How do you?
And I've always been attracted to intellectuals. I've always been attracted to intellectuals. Turns me always turns me on. And that's why I can pick and choose and say how long many relationships I've been in, because I don't like Malik started off with, I'm not into twerking and all the extra dumb shit. Like, let's get some money, let's go travel, and let's fuck whenever we can.
Okay.
I like range. You know what I mean? People who
versatility.
You know, you could go to ghetto to glamorous. You could do, you know, you could have a conversation. I could bring you into, you know, a meeting of people in a C-suite setting. But then, you know, if I got a cousin that lives in the cut, you know, you comfortable being up in there and can flow just as easy as you or anywhere else. It doesn't matter. That type of range is attractive. That's sexy. You know, to have a conversation about intelligence that where I walk away, I feel enlightened. You know what I mean? About what we're talking about. You shared something, you enlightened me on something. That's absolutely sexy. But that had nothing to do with whether or not my performance is waning.
Lord, Red. Dr. Cardwell is killing me. Men see women more as a utility when we get older.
He speaks for himself.
Okay.
Yeah, that brother. The views of Dr. Caldwell are not represented by the men on this field.
At all.
No. Hey, look, no shade, Dr. Caldwell. I don't know you, brother.
You know him.
I mean, I think I try to be a sapiosexual, but honestly, sometimes lust has taken over me. And I took a girl one time to a high-end cigar event, and they were like talking about single malt scotches and whiskeys and Cubans and Nicaraguan cigars. And this girl started talking about Black and Milds. But she was Jamaican and Italian, and I thought she was fire. So I let her embarrass me.
Baby, just sit there and look cute.
And I remember, like, my family was like, "This girl got to go." She was just too left. So you know, like,
funny.
Yeah, you could deal with that for a night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I want to be able to have conversations outside of just having sex. You know what I'm saying? Outside of what's on the reality TV shows. Like, let's have teach me something, or learn me something, or let's have a conversation about today's events or current events, politics, business.
Well, I will say my night lasted, unfortunately, D-Park, my night lasted 2 years, but yes, I did get out of it.
She can be
like Black and Mild.
Like Ted said, it's an expiration on it.
No wonder you like so many Black and Milds. She converted.
Michael Jordan smokes Black and Milds.
She hung around, but she was
he's a Wilmington country Bama though.
Shit, I smoke Black and Mild.
But he also smokes Cubans on the regular. Real Cubans.
Say, yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Whatever.
So
You gotta be
you know,
versatile.
yeah, the versatility.
So next question.
I'll smoke shit. I'm a cigar smoker.
Now, so let
I'll
me say
smoke a
this,
black
brothers.
and mild.
We got like, I'm trying to get through 32. We
No,
may have
you're
to take
not.
some
No, you're
to get
not.
into the after party. These women
32
got questions.
questions?
There's 32 questions, probably more. I think 35, but we're not gonna get through all of them tonight. So, and the ones in the chat. So, how do you approach a woman who you're interested in? What would make you reluctant to approach her?
Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Can we talk? What you like? Yeah, I mean, you just go up.
I'm watching your vibe. I'm watching how you roll.
Yep.
I'm watching how you interact. You know what I mean? If I get a sense of pretentiousness, if I get a sense of, like you're a name dropper, if I get a guys that you're out here with an agenda, you're not the woman for me. I'm gonna watch how you operate. If you cool, laid back, just doing your thing, I love a woman with confidence. I love a woman and there are particular things that it could be anything. You could have a sexy ass walk. You could have a beautiful smile. You could have, whatever. There are all types of attraction. But if all of that, put together, just, like I can't stop looking at you or something like that. I can't, I'm like fixated on you for some reason. Like you got a vibe going on that I'm working with, and I'm liable to approach you on that.
How are you going to approach her, Ted? She's there.
I usually put myself in a general vicinity and strike up a conversation. For example, if she's at the bar, I'll come up to the bar, and say something to her. Not like, hey, I've been watching you from across. That's not my shit. I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? I might come up, listen to the conversation or just talk to it and say, hey, how are you? Introduce myself. Getting ready to get a drink. Can I get you one? Have a conversation. If it doesn't go anywhere, hey, no love, no harm, no foul.
Any other? What has been y'all's approach in the past for somebody you really like? She got a vibe.
I usually give girls my phone and just tell them I'm gonna call them tomorrow.
Bad dude.
I've handed girls my phone and be like, yo, take my phone, I'm gonna call it tomorrow. That way you don't gotta give me a number right now. And they look at me like, you see, I said, yeah, take it. I don't gotta, that way I don't got a girl because I'm giving you my phone for a 24-hour period. It creates the illusion.
You gotta go back and get the phone.
Malik,
and I gotta go back and
Malik,
get the phone.
you're the absolute best, yo.
And it creates the illusion. It creates the illusion that I got a little bit more money than I really got. Because I'm like, yo, take the phone. It's nothing. If you don't keep it, I get another one.
So Malik,
and that's worked. My last 4 serious relationships.
Malik does that exactly.
Nigga, you are the absolute best, yo. No bullshit.
Malik is the PIMP.
Take the phone. You heard me. Take the phone. Put my number in the goddamn phone. You heard me.
Did that
ever work? Take the phone and keep it.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I'm gonna call my phone to speak to you.
Yeah, so you got next to that. I'm over here.
Yeah, my last 3 serious relationships. That's how I got them. I gave the girl my phone. I called like a day later. She's like, "Yo, you really gave me your phone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it just, it's shocking. Imagine a guy give you his phone. Wouldn't you be shocked? They looking through, women.
Wait, what kind of phone it is though?
iPhone. Yeah, iPhone.
Is it unlocked? It
ain't the Obama flip. It ain't the Obama flip.
Look, Malik, is it unlocked?
Yeah.
So she can see all the text message. She can see all the stuff.
That's his burner. That's his burner phone. That's the club phone.
And here's what's sad about women. Women sometimes won't like you. They'll just like the idea of taking you from other women.
Wait, how old are these women?
Late 20s, early 30s.
Oh,
Bingo.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That makes sense. So, how much does age matter at this point for y'all?
I mean, realistically, I would be challenged if I said there's a 35-year-old out there that has sage conversation and something that I'm going to learn something from, and then the circles that she hangs in is a mature crowd that I'm going to want to hang in with as a 51-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like, God bless you. You know what I mean? But we probably not on the same page when it comes down to, we could be on the same page about a lot of things, but doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be on the same page about some things that have substance, that are going to carry the relationship past the whatever physical attraction that may be there.
Yeah, facts.
What does
100%.
it mean with somebody? What does it mean when you say "I love you" to someone?
D Parks, I'm gonna let you start.
Yeah, what's
We
her
gonna get a
credit
little deep
score?
now, y'all. We going into the abyss. We going into
Yeah,
deeper water.
That goes.
The Shakespeare,
that goes
the Shakespeare,
into-
motherfucking New York. Go to work, yo.
Yo, but that goes into why do men cry? I mean, it's the same thing when women say I love you. I exceptionally I like your vibe. I love everything about you, and I I'm emotionally involved in you.
Let me ask you. So let me ask.
Love
I'm gonna
mean?
ask the question. I'm gonna ask the question a little different. How does your
Yeah.
love show up in a relationship?
I think
How does
simply
when
put,
you love somebody, when you're in love with somebody, how does it show up in a relationship?
when I wake up,
through me showing up. It goes through me showing up. I mean, and the reason why I paused when you said it because like I'm a good dude. Period. Like if I'm not in love with you, I'm gonna show up depending on our relationship, man or woman. But if I love you, like I'm gonna be there or I'm gonna want to be there. Let me say that. Both ways. I'm gonna be there and want to be there.
Attica D. Parks. Attica said love means it's time to take the condom off. You know what?
I love it. I love it.
Yo, yes,
I love it.
No, for
Yeah,
real.
like, I
How
get it.
does y'all know what
I was in love. I think I was in love last night. Then
No, but I can say-
Be for real. Like stop fucking playing. Be for real. What does it look like?
No. But just Attica saying that, I can say like it means like I'm ready to commit to you. Like I want to be involved with you. Like I love you. And when I say I love you, I'm gonna be accountable with you. I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna secure you. I'm gonna lead you. I'm gonna be decisive in everything we do, and you're gonna have a voice, and we're gonna be. But that also goes into if they buy into it too, because again, it goes like women play games where it's like this nigga told me he loved me last night. Ha ha ha. So it becomes difficult to be transparent in certain situations because women mishandle the situation. But I'm gonna be authentic in everything I do. So if you act funny, then I'm out. Like I'm not gonna sit around and pretend you. But yeah, when I say I love you means I'm taking the condom off and I'm down for you. What's your move? What do you want to do now? How are we gonna move forward?
Malik, how has love shown up for you? I mean, how do you show love?
I think I just try to be very in tune to the person and try to be omnipresent in their life. And it's just a deep connection. I think when you see couples that are in love, you can genuinely feel their love. You know what I mean? So I think it's hard to kind of like put into words, but I think people know how their spirit moves when they're in love. You want to text that person. You might do little things like put gas in the car on a cold day so they don't have to get out and put gas in it. It's just really, I think when you reach that level of being in love with your partner, it's just an idea of you putting their needs before your own and vice versa.
TJ?
I
think what'd you say?
Putting the gas in the car on a cold night. That's huge.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there in every which way I can.
Yeah. I think how I show up with love is I wake up every day thinking, how do I make her day better? What can I do today to make her day a little bit better than she anticipated? What is it that I'm going to send you that note during the course of the day? How you doing? Just thinking about you. Give you a call, check on you, have a conversation. Just being attentive to her needs. And that takes a little bit of a vulnerability because you're doing it not necessarily because you think that it's going to be done in return. You hope that it is. You're going to hope that she does something in a way that shows you something in reciprocity. But I definitely feel like you do it because what I feel for you is stronger than, at times, dare I say, what I feel for myself. I'm putting your needs and your concerns ahead of mine to a degree. Yeah,
I like what Ted said. And I just to piggyback on it. It's when you say you love someone, it's there. I'm not looking for. Of course, you want reciprocity, but I'm doing it out of like I really dig you. I really care for you. Like I'm really going to take care of you. I really like I'm at that space right now with you. But then if it's not reciprocated, then shit changes, and then that's why you wind up in a relationship with a motherfucker for 18 years and they don't marry you because it's like, oh, word. That because men operate in 100% space. I saw this shit somewhere the other day, and it's like if you don't step to the plate or reciprocate what we want to do, then we'll learn to operate in the 80% or the 75 or the 60, and you'll never know the difference because we adapt to situations.
So we had this whole conversation at after party, and I this question: is there when a woman she meets you? And she's like, I want you or need you. Which do you prefer? Or does it matter?
I want to be
I'd rather you want me.
Yeah,
I think that need has to me there's a demarcation of time. What if you don't need me anymore? Like I'm not into it because you need me. I'm into it because you want me, because this is where I'm who you want to be with. And that to me does not have a demarcation of time. I want to be with you throughout. I want you.
Okay.
That's right. To quote the great Marvin Gaye, I want you and I want you to want me too.
Okay.
But I will say need-based relationships serve their purpose.
What do you mean by that, Malik?
You catch your sister in a struggle. She need the nails done. She need that cable bill paid. You gonna hang around. You gonna hang around for a couple of months. Right now it's cold. There's a lot of Con Ed bills out there that need paid.
Does she still have your phone when she needs all this stuff?
You got Apple. I hope on that burner phone. I hope you don't have Apple Pay on that joke because she will get the nails done. She gonna get the bills paid, phone bill paid, everything.
Jay, can we do about 5-10 more minutes in? I know we're gonna go over a little. Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Anthony, you got some questions for go back and go into the abyss?
There was a lot of questions in the chat, and give me some time to bring it up.
Okay.
So why questions up?
Come on, co-host. You're supposed to be on top of your game.
Put that Henry
down. You over there worry about niggas crying and shit.
Right.
You don't think with older women, or you don't think with older men or with younger women, it's a need-based situation? You think they really want them?
How many times do you have sex with a date before you decide to not use a condom? I hear after 3 times is common rule for men unsaid. Yeah,
I don't think there's a number on that, Mom. That's a conversation.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's a conversation. That's a test results.
Yeah, are we fucking each other exclusively?
First night. That could be the first night if you got the test results.
Yeah.
There was one question that came in that I thought was freaking hilarious, but they wanted to know, what does pee taste like?
Pussy.
Tell her to lick the inside of her cheek.
The chicken.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Someday your pH balance could be off, and you don't want that shit. But
I guess that depends on the woman.
Yeah. Did you have mangoes today, love?
Right. Is that pineapple I taste?
So first of all, I'm gonna just plug the Antietam black pineapple. Is the best pineapple in the world. And when you eat that pineapple, things change, but that's a different story.
Look, Sunshine's DMs is just getting flooded.
Okay, so here's a 2-part question. Do you believe your childhood and past trauma still affect you today? And why all the resistance to therapy?
That's a 2-part question. I would say no. And who says that we don't seek therapy?
Well,
what is the resistance to therapy?
Yeah.
Wait, like I said, why is there, like, who says there's a resistance to therapy? Is that the guys you dated have a resistance to therapy?
I think what happens is like when, and maybe this is in past, maybe not our generation, but I've heard a lot of people like, he don't want to go to therapy. We're married. We're having problems. He don't want to go to therapy. blah, 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 blah. We need therapy. He doesn't want to go to therapy. I hear that a lot.
Because she probably need to go to therapy.
I mean, I think,
Like,
I
how
think
dare
your
you?
Y'all
past,
both
How dare you
probably
ask
need
me
to
to
go
go
to
to therapy?
I think your past
Exactly.
trauma is
That's the better
always.
answer.
I think even when you heal, your past traumas always still kind of maybe are present. You might not just act on them because, like, if you've been cheated on once, let's say, and the signs of cheating were the girl was on her phone late at night, she was lying about her whereabouts. You might get in a new relationship and see similar patterns, and then your mind automatically transgresses to when you were cheated on. So I think even if you do go to therapy and heal, it's kind of hard to unsee or unlearn the things you have learned in the past.
Yeah.
And I
facts.
think of late, I think Black people are more open to therapy, men and women. I think the general consensus in the past has been, talk to a family member or go to the barbershop. But I think now we're in an age where we're trying to maybe get more self-help, I think.
Yeah, and I say that too. It's like you can see in people, like just people, when it's child therapy, child issues that come up. Depending on how people respond, we know they pout, they mouth out because those are childhood things that people have done to get attention, to get what they want. But also Malik said something that was really maybe he didn't even realize it. Like men from a young age, even the teenagers in the 20s, and it might not be the best therapy, but we go to barbershops and we talk about shit, and you hear stuff from older guys. Some of the shit might be toxic, but a lot of it is good information that you get in here. You know what I'm saying? As you can utilize, and again, it's both good information. When I say good information, it's good information on wow, that's something I should do, or damn, you know what? I ain't never doing that shit. That shit sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's you being able to share and talk in an environment where you're giving positive, you're giving information to share and utilize.
So
Yeah,
I have a question.
once you get a chance to let it all out and talk about it, no matter what environment you're in, it's even on this environment, on this forum, it's sort of like free therapy. So it's really good to get a chance to just get it out your system sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I
And then
think you might
talking
need to see therapy for your A. Like, as dope as that is going sideways, like, that's some crazy shit with your A going sideways. Like, that may be some shit that you might need to go see therapy about because you think that's
you
okay.
are hilarious.
So I got two more quick questions, Natalie. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Two more quick questions. The one is pee or head?
Excuse me? What was
Pee
it?
or head?
Pee or head?
Oh, pussy. Is it pee for pussy?
Oh, pee, definitely pee.
Pigeon?
Pee.
Potatoes?
You know what pee
Pee all
is.
day.
Come on.
Pee
Pee
all, why
or
we
head?
can't have our cake and eat it too?
That was one of the questions.
Yeah, pee
That's
is
deep.
preferred.
Why can't it be both? Why can't it go in one and in the other, in one
You
and
have
the
to
other,
choose
in
one
one
or
and
the
the
other.
other?
Which one would it be?
If I had to choose between the two, it would be pee. Pee.
Okay.
Not the
These are
golden shower pee, just the
Listen, these are questions that the audience is asking, but I'm going to ask this question now.
Oh Lord.
But you know
Have you-
what? When you eat dinner, you eat appetizers first, and then you go to dinner. So pee, so head should always be a part of pee. It's just beginning stage.
Listen, I don't know. But
Or sometimes you want to finish off with dessert.
So, two-part question. Have you ever cried during sex? And has anybody ever smacked you for crying?
No.
No,
You never cried during sex?
no.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
I think I might have had the Denzel Glory tear one time. Like, wow, that was amazing. But like,
Exactly. Hey, Malik,
Yeah,
thank you. I
never.
talked about the
I've
Denzel
never
Glory.
thought about crying,
That shit is
having
sexy.
sex.
So not that Denzel Glory tear. That made a lot of women moist back in the day.
But
I've
it
never
wasn't
even
like
thought about
crying,
crying,
like
having
blubbering.
sex.
It might have been like,
Even though he was getting beat by the whip. There's something sadistic about that shit, but I'm just saying. Anyway.
we have a lot more questions that we could probably get through.
Let's run through them.
Okay, so no, because some of these are going to take a little. They not run through questions. Some of them are. What turns you off?
Complaining, mixed messages. Did I say complaining? Yeah, loud all the damn time. Being overly emotional about shit that you might not have nothing to deal with. Some shit happened over there, and you cursing and mad because that shit happened over there, and ain't got nothing to do with you. You bringing outside shit into our shit that has nothing to do with us. Assumptions, mistrust, unplaced mistrust.
Yeah, I just can't stand liars and people who overfeel themselves. Like
Yeah,
I love
that's all that
confidence.
too.
I love confidence, but you got to know what you are.
Yeah.
And it's like if you were 8, stay in the 8 lane. You're not a 10.
What have been some of your insecurities in relationships?
Being vulnerable, being, opening up fully.
That maybe I wasn't the type of man that I thought they might want, whether that be financially or emotionally or mentally. You know, like certain girls like certain types of dudes. And when you like a chick, you want to be that for her. So if you like say you might like I've dated some women who like aggressive men. I'm not an overly aggressive guy in certain areas. So when they be like, yo, why you never just grab me and threw me down on the bed and did your thing? And I was like, I'm just not like, you know what I'm saying? That's semi-rape to me. If some women like that level of aggression. You get what I mean? So I would feel a little inadequate because I'm like, damn.
Like a little choking here and there.
Yeah, see, I'm not really good at that. Like a girl was telling me one time, talk to me, and I'm just like stuttering, like, so do you?
Yes, Keith.
Okay, this is good for you. Like I don't even, I'm not dirty talk. I just certain things I don't do.
How do you feel about a woman earning more money than you?
I'm in Oprah DM right now. Let's go.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Nah. I don't think I've ever been in that situation. No, I have. Have I? Maybe once, I think. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna pull my shit is invaluable. So you should make more money than I do because the shit I'm bringing to the table is gonna balance it all out.
We a lifeline for these ladies. It ain't about the money. We a lifeline.
Are you asking your person, can you see their W-2s or something?
No, you kind of know. You kind of know, like based on where they live, how they move. You can kind of gauge what someone's earnings are. And if I feel like if I'm dating a girl and she's going to Grand Cayman like every 2-3 months, like you go to Antigua like every week, I feel like. You know what I mean? So a guy might date you and be thinking like, damn, Sunshine is in Antigua every other Thursday. She's probably playing with a different financial, bankroll than I am. But if he's a secure man, he knows how to handle it. I think as long as you can keep up, the right woman will accept you.
Yeah, like I dated this chick that lived in Vegas, and she was the one to fly me back and forth out there to come see her. And then at some point, it's like, yo, nah, I can't come because I got my kids this weekend or whatever. This is when my kids were young after I got divorced. And she's like, yo, don't worry, I'll fly them out here with you too. And it was like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Because there's certain points where you just say, no, I'm not letting you finance all that shit.
Now, did you feel emasculated? D-Park, you felt emasculated by that, or you just saying?
Nah, I thought it was dope. But I didn't just like, nah, I'm not. My kids don't need to be involved in you flying me out to Vegas to come hang out with you. Like, nah.
So this is for any woman that you have broken up with or divorced. Have you seen your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend's unhappiness and criticism of you, and how has it helped you to change for the better or benefit you in the new relationship, not with her?
Say what?
Say that again.
Right, word. Say what?
I've been pretty perfect.
Basically, it says for divorced men. I'm also going to say, and men who you're no longer a divorced man, or you've never been married, but your exes. Have you seen where your ex-wife's unhappiness or criticism of you has helped you to change for the better and benefited you in a new relationship?
I got low attention span. I didn't hear anything.
Nah.
Basically, she's asking, how has previous relationships and the criticisms of your past spouses or partners helped you in new relationships? That's what she's asking.
I think you take inventory of what went wrong in a past relationship, right? You see
Right.
what you have ownership in and what you don't, and you see how you can affect change to better yourself. And, the past is the past, and you look at it for what it was. All right, this is what I experienced. This is what I may have learned. This is what I could potentially do better. What was I at fault for? And then you move on. But that's really isolated. I think it's only solely for you. And I think ultimately, if you're a better person, it only makes your next relationship a potentially better relationship because you're a better person.
Do you find yourself kind of dating as like certain women that were similar to an ex?
No. I don't try not to, but if I showed you a picture of probably my last you wouldn't see a similarity, even in personality.
I just had this conversation with a couple of female friends, and they were like, "Brother, you are dating the same woman." And they've seen pictures of the last few girlfriends, and they're like, first of all, you got a color complex. Second of all, you're dating women that look exactly alike. I don't see it. I don't see it. But
I think that's what happens, Ted. We don't see it, but it's happened because I think people tell me all the time, like, you date the same girl. And I'm like, really?
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, it was so bad that one good friend in a public setting thought that the girl that I was with was the last girl that I was with.
Yeah.
That's I was like,
are their personalities
reminds
similar, Ted? And believe,
No.
I mean, Deepak, she
No.
said no. The
No.
person, but they look alike.
It's like they're the same type of woman. Like they might look similar.
They look similar.
Kind of like so. Like say one girl might be a McDonald's chick, and then the other girl work at Sephora's. So it's the same type of woman. Also,
if I see
personality-wise, they were different.
Traits
but physically, they looked alike.
I'm out. Like I might not be out, but I said if I see traits of an ex in a new woman, like I kind of damn, like
You're talking about bad traits, D Parks.
We talking about
because my thing is, it's like there may be
what are you
similar.
Talking about? Isn't the bad traits why you left?
No. Not all your traits from your exes were bad. Come on now, y'all.
No, you said.
Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all.
You said.
I'm saying in general. There's a certain thing that you may be like, besides the physical. I mean,
if you were in a relationship, right? You was with them for a period of time, and there have to be some redeeming qualities. It may not have worked
that's
out.
What I'm saying.
It may not have worked out, but I understand what D Parks is saying. You're an ex because you're an ex for some reason. There was some shit that that you did, or I did, or whatever. That
we
I was
didn't
like,
clash.
I don't want that anymore. And if I see that in the next relationship, I'm like, yo. Yeah, I'm gonna slide on that one. I'm over.
And you also say, okay, I see this shit. All right, let me handle it differently this way. But then it's the same shit response from that. That's what I mean.
And that's what I think. I think we keep always trying. We'll see the same thing because we dealt with it for 6 months in the last relationship. In the new relationship, we feel like we could nip it in the bud in 1 month, but it still is the same outcome. So I think a lot of times when we see stuff like, I dealt with that before, I know how to navigate it now, but it's something that's unnavigatable. You get what I mean?
Yeah. That's why it's a turn off, and it's like, I'm not gonna stay here long.
Anthony, I'm gonna have you give us the last question before we go out.
Do men think they should be courted and pursued by women too?
Great question.
Hell yeah.
Yes, we the pride.
If you see value in us, you motherfucking right, you better do it.
I understand all this talk about chivalry and all these other things, but here's what I think. I think whoever is bringing the most to the table should be the one that should be pursued. And I think society has placed this new value on being pretty, like pretty privilege, where all these women have access to all of this shit just because they're pretty. It's like, I'm an NBA basketball player. I done spent 1,000 hours in the gym to get to this yacht, to get to this mansion. you in this mansion or this yacht just because you pretty. And it's like guys need to start making women vet themselves. Like if I'm worth this much, you gotta chase me down.
Yeah. Before I fully commit.
But Malik, you should be vetting them too.
No, I am vetting them, but what I'm saying is like a lot of times guys will just throw caution to the wind and go after a woman just because she's pretty.
Yeah.
And he will accept what she's offering. He's not looking at her education. He's not looking at her morals. He's not looking at her spiritual compass. He's not looking at her emotional intelligence. He just wants her because she's an attractive.
She got good. She looks pretty. She got good head and good pee. You know, so I'm
and it's like,
hell no. Hell no. It's gotta be more than that. That's just gonna end after a while.
So that's called after I got the goodies. Now I got to do this evaluation on, is she a keeper? Is this somebody that I should, continue to spend some time with?
And here's the thing I always say: if you ever really asked yourself, if you really said to yourself before you slept with a person, "Damn, I might have a baby with this person,"
exactly,
that might change a lot of your moves.
Yeah.
Like right before you go, you be like,
that's why you got Nick Cannons of the world and other brothers who got like 5 baby mamas.
Well, nah,
Nick Cannon is a different situation.
That's his design.
Well, I'm not even Nick Cannon, but brothers who got
that was
caught
a bad
out.
example.
Yeah. Okay, not Nick Cannon. It was an extreme example, I know. But other brothers
out there, though.
There are a lot of brothers out there moving that way.
A lot of what you did at the cigar bar, I'm just asking.
You got to be fruitful and multiply.
So y'all, we're gonna final question before we go into Anthony. I said you were gonna do the last question.
Yeah. Do you want to do one more?
We're gonna do one more. I always ask this question, even in stack singles.
Go ahead.
What makes y'all smile?
Waking up in the morning.
Okay.
Pineapples from Antigua. They make me smile and cry at the same time.
Okay. We in reference. Hold on, Ted. In reference to that, when she gives me head and then puts it in the pee and then puts it back in the head and then back in the pee, I smile like a motherfucking I hit the lottery.
No, but I just like good people. Like seeing a good person. Like I was on a train the other day and I saw this little Asian girl with a hockey stick and her grandfather.
I'm not sure where this is going. No,
I'm telling you, like
a lady.
Well, listen. I was on the train.
Girl, not a lady, little Asian girl.
Listen. I saw like a
Did you give her your cell phone?
A little Asian girl was with her grandfather going to play hockey, and she had a hockey stick, and and her grandfather had her equipment, and she was talking. And they go to the rink out here in Coney Island, and I think, you know what? That's just a beautiful thing to see family together. A person that's not of this skill set or culture engaging in this. So I just like to see beautiful things in society. To me, that like put a smile on my face. Like I was like, wow, this is like a Nike commercial.
All right, thank you, Malik.
For me, it's realizing God's blessings. For real, just like when you see how God has continued to bless you in every aspect of your life.
Amen.
And the people that He's put around you and surrounded you with, people that add to your life but not take away, and the things that do take away from your life, He finds a way to remove them and do that, expeditiously. For me, that's a smile that never goes away.
So now you gotta get a raunchy answer because we both gave 2. Now you gotta get the other answer. What else makes you smile?
Raunchy answer is great pussy with a perfunctory 15-minute, hug up. You just, I'm with you, baby. 15 minutes, and then when I'm ready to fall off to go to sleep, then I'm done.
Sunshine makes me want to mess with black women again.
Yo, Kennedy is off the chain right now.
And Natalie's going to be the okay.
Kennedy, did you invite one of your individual people in here? Did you?
Lord have mercy. Okay, so we are going into the after party to continue this conversation, ladies and gents. The link is in the Facebook group. Y'all were off the chain. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, D Parks. Thank you, Malik. Meet us in the after party, y'all. We continuing this shit because it is lit. All right. See y'all next week.
Holla.
I'm not finished with